Good morning. When public-private partnerships like the Texas Enterprise Fund are administered with transparency and accountability, they are important economic tools that create good-paying jobs and help to ensure that Texas continues to lead in the 21st century. That's why I authored the legislation to audit the Texas Enterprise Fund. We needed to ensure that the promise was living up to reality, that Texas tax dollars were being spent properly and transparently, and that job creation goals were being fulfilled. Last week, we received the results of that audit, and the findings are not only very serious, but disturbing. The report showed that at least $172 million of Texas taxpayer money was distributed to companies that didn't even submit applications or undergo basic oversight. The Attorney General is responsible for inspecting all accounts that involve state funds, including the Texas Enterprise Fund. Greg Abbott has been the Attorney General throughout the entire existence of the Texas Enterprise Fund, and he was responsible for acting as its watchdog, monitoring its accounts and recovering misspent money. For that entire time, Mr. Abbott did not recover one dime of taxpayer dollars for the Enterprise Fund. Instead, he accepted more than $1.4 million in campaign contributions from the very taxpayer-funded grant recipients that he was supposed to be monitoring. And he looked the other way, as hundreds of millions of our tax dollars were handed out without any oversight or accountability. However, that's not even the most disturbing part. What's most disturbing is the fact that Mr. Abbott used the power of his office to orchestrate a cover-up of the transfer of millions of dollars of taxpayer funds to companies who never even completed an application for the funds, blocking the release of applications that he knew did not exist. He used the power of his office to keep records secret from the public, concealing the fact that basic documentation simply never existed, and that large sums of taxpayer money was being funneled to companies improperly. Given the seriousness of what we know and the depth of what remains unknown, I am calling for the following three items. First, we need an independent investigation by appropriate state or federal authorities regarding the actions by the Attorney General and his attempt to use the power of his office to cover up the transfer of millions of taxpayer dollars to companies whose applications he knew didn't exist. Second, Mr. Abbott must immediately release any and all internal documents, emails, and communications related to that cover-up. And third, Mr. Abbott must return the more than $1.4 million in campaign contributions from recipients of the Texas Enterprise Fund until an investigation is complete.